Hi everybody, this is Sue Schöning, and I am the author of Numerhythms, The Code of Life, which is a book on intuitive numerology which is available now off Amazon.com. But I didn't record this because I wanted to speak to you about the book. I recorded this today because I wanted to speak to you about the energy of 2014. We are already in April of 2014, which means that 4 months have gone by, and we have another 8 months of this energy that we need to work with as the year flows by us. So many people have asked me, what is it about 2014 that makes it feel so intense, so sharp, so harsh almost? Why is 2014 having an effect on practically every area of my life, from relationships to money, to the job that I do, to my family, to even my spiritual journey? What is it about 2014? What is its message for me, and how do I work effectively with it? And because I keep getting this question asked again and again and again, I thought it was something that we needed to explore, which is why I decided to record this today. In numerology, and especially in intuitive numerology, we take a look at all the numbers and the value that each number brings. And so when we're looking at 2014, the first thing that we would need to do is we would need to look at the different energies of the numbers that make up 2014, which of course is the 2, the 0, the 1, and the 4, 2014. And then the second thing that we need to do is we need to look at the collective value of the 2 plus the 0 plus the 1 plus the 4, which would give me a 7. So the first thing is, let's look at how that energy is made up, and then let's look at the end value that it comes to, which is the number 7. And so we start by trying to understand the energy of 2014 by first looking at that first digit, the 2. And the 2 is all about feminine energy. Think for a moment of sacred feminine, feminine divine. The 2 is descriptive of everything womanly, everything feminine, everything that is nurturing, soft, collaborative, diplomatic. The male energy is a 1, which is a masculine energy. And that is all about focus and direction and where we're going and how we're going to go. But the 2 energy is an energy that is more collaborative. It's more diplomatic. It says, if it's good for you and it's good for me, then it will be good for both of us. As opposed to, I don't care whether it's good for you, it's going to be good for me, and that's enough. So the first thing that we look at is that value of the 2, which is a collaborative, diplomatic, almost sacredly nurturing value. And that is the energy that leads us as we look at the other digits. And so we can see that this collaborative, nurturing, feminine, take care of, feeding, sustaining energy of the 2 is of primary importance when we're trying to understand the value of 2014. The next value that we have to look at is that energy of the 1, which is, as I've just said, the focus, the direction, the way forward, which is a very male energy. It is a very masculine energy to say, that's the goal, that's what we're going to do, and that is the way that we're going to achieve it. But in this instance, we have the 2, which is the collaborative, diplomatic, feminine energy, standing in a position of authority and power over that male energy. And so it says that this energy of 2014, this year energy, that of primary importance is emotional intelligence, emotional and diplomatic collaboration, is, does this sustain me, does this feed me, does this nurture me, before the structure and the nuts and bolts of that very masculine energy. The feminine energy is the one that says, let's work together as a team. And for this year specifically, it is far more important to work together as a team in order to achieve those results that we want. The structure is important, absolutely, because we can see that one value is there, but it is nowhere near as important as the feminine, the emotional intelligence, energy of emotional consequence, if I can call it that. That one energy, that very masculine energy, is followed by the 4. And the 4 in numerology tends to indicate something that is of balance, something that is of harmony, something that is order and routine and ritual, and something that is cohesive and stands together and pulls together. It is an energy that says, if it needs to be done, let's do it, and let's do it right the first time around. The 4 is all about responsibility. It's all about doing what has to be done, when it has to be done, by the person who has to take care of it. So it's an energy that says, be responsible, pay attention, what needs to be looked after, what needs to be sorted out. Make sure that the foundation is strong and solid. And so if we look at how the numbers of 2014, if we describe them in values, it would be emotional integrity, emotional value, nurturing, sustaining, feeding, collaborative, diplomatic in the first position. In the second position, it would be structure, focus, end goal, the results after hard work. And then it would be order, balance, routine, harmony. All of these words would make up the value of 2014. As we move through those numbers, the energy of this year asks us, look at your life. Is it nurturing? Look at your activities. Is it sustaining? Is it sustainable? Look at your relationships. Do they feed you? Are you being emotionally consequent in the work that you do and the people that you work with and the people that you live with? Are you in a situation where you are laying down your objectives and your goals to keep the peace? Because this says in 2014, it's not about the needs of one over another. It is the needs of all of us. Are all of our needs met? Are we being emotionally cognizant of everybody's needs within this situation? It says, don't be so emotionally focused that you throw out the baby with the bathwater. You still need a plan. You still need a pathway to walk. You still need to move ahead in terms of structure and focus. You still need to be responsible. This is not an energy where we can say, I don't feel like going to work, and so therefore who cares about the bills? They will pay themselves. Because the balance and the order and the harmony that is reflected by that energy of 4 says, do what's right, do what's responsible, honor your responsibilities and honor your obligations. And so those are the building blocks that we look at when we then turn to the end value of the 2 plus the 1 plus the 4, which gives us a value of 7. And we know that 7 is inherently a spiritual energy. It is an energy that tends to kickstart people into thinking. And so it's not often a comfortable energy. We have this belief that anything that is spiritual tends to be soft and gentle. But actually the reverse is often true. That in order for us to come to a deep spiritual awakening, we need to be pushed and prodded, and we need to be in an uncomfortable place before we start asking questions. The 7 value says to you, who are you? Who are you really? What do you really believe? What do you really want? Is this it? As you look around your life, is this it? Or is there more to your life that you are missing out on? It's a very rare person, I think, who hasn't looked at their life and said, is this all it's supposed to be? Am I doing what it is that I'm supposed to be doing? It's a very rare person who hasn't looked at their life and said, is this it? This life that I have constructed around me, is this it? For so many of us, I get up in the morning, I shower, I get ready for work or for school or for university. I go off and I do my day and I earn my daily bread and I have the daily grind. If we're lucky, we have a moment or two to dash to the gym on the way back from work. We get home and it's supper and it's rush, rush, rush before we fall into bed, only to wake up tomorrow morning and do the same thing all over again. It definitely is a hamster wheel in very many regards. And the trouble is that when you are so busy on this hamster wheel of getting things done and doing things, that very often we forget to stop and ask and say, is this it? Is this enough for me? Is this feeding me, not just in terms of the money in the bank and the money in my wallet and being able to pay my rent at the end of the day, but is this enough for me emotionally to live the next 5, 10, 15 years this way? The energy of 7 says, wake up, look around you, take responsibility for your life and for the direction and the focus that your life is going. It says, wake up and see whether this is what you want or whether you've just been lulled into some sense of this is normal, this is expected, this is what I have to do. That 7 energy is not uncomfortable because it is about facing and confronting the shadows that we have placed in our own lives. Very often we don't go and push barriers and we don't challenge and we don't push ourselves to achieve more because there is an energy of fear or of insecurity or of it doesn't matter, that is not meant for me. 2014 says, what if you could push past that barrier of fear? 2014 says, what if there was more to life than this? It is an energy that says, what is your truth? What is it that you believe in? And having come to some realization of what your truth is, you will be asked to either stand up and do something about it in a way that feeds you and the people around you, or to ignore it and walk away from it and pretend you never asked those questions in the first place. 2014 is a harsh year for relationships. The reason being because if I'm asking these questions about who am I and is there more to life for me than my daily grind, so are you who is listening to this. So are the people who are in your space. So are the people that you work with, the people that you interact with. In short, this is an energy that 7 billion people on the planet are surrounded by. An energy that says, wake up, wake up. Who are you? What do you believe? And what are you going to do about it? And so, in a good way, we are all being challenged by this very harsh, very tense, very stressful energy. In a bad way, it says everybody is being bombarded by these same questions all at the same time. And so what it means, that if I am being pushed and I am off center, and if you are being pushed and you're also a little bit off center, it stands to the reason that the people in our space are also feeling pushed and under pressure and that they are also struggling. So what do we do about it? The best way to go through 2014 is to be in a space where you hold your core very strong. that you hold that space of your own center and your own beliefs, that you hold that firm and you hold it strong. And that through whatever practice that you employ to hold your center strong, that you continue it through the year. Some people do it through meditation. Some people do it through exercise. Some people do it through Tai Chi or repetitive exercises like that. Whatever it is that brings you to a space of your center, make sure you pay attention to that this year. It is also an energy that says pay attention to your physical body. It's an energy that says pay attention to your emotional body. And it says pay attention to your thoughts and your mental body. All in all, a very interesting, very challenging year on every single aspect of our existence. Between February and April, we are going to experience that this energy, this stressful, tense energy, starts to get harsher and harsher. People around you will feel irritated, they will feel frustrated, they will have moments of outbursts or moments of anger, moments of temper, because this energy pushes us from one comfort zone in order to explore whether what we believed was true. Between the months of April and July, we are going to be forced to ask ourselves whether what I have believed spiritually my entire life, whether it is still true, whether it still resonates. It's kind of like if I've believed for years and years and years that the world was flat, and now I am being provided with incontrovertible truth that the world actually is no longer flat, that it's actually round. I have to draw back and pull back so that I can cogitate this new truth or this new information. And I can cogitate what it does and what it means to my view of the world and how I'm going to operate if this new truth is in fact the truth. From the months of July through to November, we are going to be asked to put into practice what it is that we now believe, and to allow our actions to reflect our truth. And so it is a very interesting year as people all over the world are being forced into a space where they are shifting consciousness. Remember, truth is relative. What I believe and what you believe might be two completely different things. Who is right? Me or you? Truth is relative. I have the right to believe what I believe is true. And I will look for evidence to support that my take on things is actually correct. Just as you will look for evidence to see that what you believe is true. And you will look for proof that says, incontrovertible proof that says what you believe is in fact the truth. With truth comes a buzzword called tolerance. If we don't have tolerance in our truth, we end up becoming, or running the risk of becoming, fanatical or obsessive. And so as I am exploring my truth and as I am looking into what is true for me, it is vitally important that we remember that 7 billion people on the planet are doing exactly the same thing at exactly the same time. But they may not come to the same level of consciousness or the same level of truth that we have come to. And that is okay. And that is a very big step. And I think that is where the energy of the two comes in. That says what is right for you might not be what is right for me. And what is right for me may not be what is right for you. But we are emotionally intelligent enough to know that truth has very many different faces. And a spiritual truth is not about one face fits all. And that is okay. And that is where the energy of tolerance and emotional intelligence and emotional consequence comes in. So how do we work with this energy of 2014? Gently. We work very gently with ourselves. We honor that we are on a journey, and that is a journey that is designed to shift our emotional program. It is designed to shift our mental program. It is designed to shift the way that we have gone through life up till now. And its primary focus is to bring us harmony, balance, order, and truth. Over the next couple of weeks and months, I'm going to be recording different aspects of this intuitive numerological journey. If you found this one interesting, if you found it informative, I hope you'll come back and tune in to some of our future ones. Take care. God bless. This is Schöning from Numerhythms, The Code of Life.